Good day, everybody. First, I want to introduce myself. My name is Kelloggs, and the only reason that you don't see me is because you will see me. I'm here basically to let you know that I've had floors installed by Luna. These are the pictures of the floor that you see now, with 3 strips of matching quarter round, which the quarter round are the pieces that you see the tabs on. That's how close it matches up with the floor. This product does not come with a wall base, so I had to purchase my own wall base, which you will see pictures on here as far as what happened with the installation. These pictures that you're looking at now are the pictures that were taken after I removed the molding, knowing that Luna was coming on that Saturday, which was scheduled for Friday. It's a lot into this because I have been going through this for over 2 months when I had my floors originally put in. In the picture that you see next, this is the work that I'm having to do because when you pull the molding off the wall, I had to do some touch-ups. So I don't blame Luna for that. I thank them in a way, but it would have been nice if when they brought in the product to do the touch-up and the reinstallation of my wall base, they came in with 3 strips of quarter round, which I needed a whole room because the cuts were entirely bad. You'll see that as well. Let me give you a little history. When I first got my floors to be installed, we had to reschedule because the customer service rep that did the order put in the wrong product. And I end up getting an entirely different product than what's on that floor now. When the floor was done, another crew came in and put in the installation. In that installation, there was wall molding that I wanted installed, which you can see on the opposite wall, adjacent from looking straight in. And if I can get a picture of it, you will see what it looks like. This picture here is the wall molding that I put in, or I should say that I purchased. The quarter round that Luna put in, and if you look at it real good, you can see where all the cuts are at. And this is the kind of work that they did. They walked out of here, I guess, thinking that everything was okay. And I was so pissed off that I just signed the work order and got them out. But only because of the fact that they guarantee their work, that I knew that somebody would come back and fix all of this, but didn't realize that they keep sending the same crews out. And you take a good look at this now. These are cuts where they did supposedly 2 90-degree cuts on the wall molding to lock these 2 pieces in, and 2 90-degree cuts where they locked in the quarter round, which was supposed to butt up against each other and meet. Look at the difference in the color. As a professional, they would have found a piece that was just as dark, because the floor is dark and light, that they would not have matched up pieces looking like this if they were professionals. This next picture, if you paid close attention to the picture that was previously shown, you will see that the design in that wall molding is entirely different. I only had 2 pieces that were separated when I turn around and talk to whoever was in charge to do these floors, that I separated 2 pieces out of the batch because these 2 pieces were supposed to go around my door frame. Somebody came, well, the other crew came in, didn't pay attention to what was going on, didn't even look at the 2 pieces because I was not downstairs, I was upstairs on my computer, didn't think that I had to babysit, and found out when I cleaned my floors 2 days later, walking around and being down on my knees, like I said, cleaning this floor, that I noticed that in 2 locations, they ended up having 2 pieces of this design with the originals that were supposed to have gone around my floor. Now I'll show it to you again. That was the original that was supposed to go in. 2 spots is what had this pattern. So now we had another problem in trying to find this pattern because of the fact that scheduling, trying to make a time where it would be feasible for everybody, we couldn't do for a while because Luna was busy. Now, I went to Home Depot to go back and get 2 pieces of the original panels that were going to go in for the wall molding, which was these 2 panels. Come find out, Home Depot no longer carries this product. So now we got a problem. So we set up a date. Customer service rep came over, showed me some samples. I picked out a sample. Now, believe it or not, if you look very closely at the lightest piece on there, when they came in to do my floors on November the 4th, originally, which was a Friday, we had to reschedule for the 5th. Now, all the plans that I had made, the time that I took off from work and other things, were blown to hell. And then what happens is they reschedule for Saturday morning. They come in Saturday morning, they bring me 3 pieces of quarter round, and they bring me wall molding, which looked nothing like the wall molding that I picked out. Matter of fact, the wall molding was natural. And if you know what natural looks like, it did not blend with anything that you see here in this picture. This is what I have been going through with Luna. Not only that, but I'm going to show you some other pictures, which I just wonder whether or not you would actually accept that as work. That is another joint that was put in by Luna that I took a picture of. This is a corner cut put in by Luna that I took a picture of. And if you notice that the angle cuts, even though the wall is not a true 90 degree, the material that was taken off of that wall matched up their corners because of the fact that, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, there's something called a miter box. Everybody wants to use the quick saw now in order to do this. And I'm going to show you something that, believe it or not, I showed to, and you're seeing pictures of my house. This device right here that you see is called a miter box. What it does, it shows you angle cuts that you can do your wood in certain degrees. 90 degree, 40 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree. And in the olden days, they made these boxes to do corner cuts and all this other stuff in carpentry, where if you notice how this saw is going, that this is how you make these cuts. You can do a straight cut. It's got all the little slots in it. On the left side, on the right side. And I showed this box to the gentleman who came in and did the floors. And believe it or not, and you know, I hate to say it, but he's foreign. But he did good work on the floors, but he had no idea what this box was. And it's called a miter box. Carpenters in the olden days used to make these by hand out of wood. Put the little slots in it big enough for the saw to go through, and they cut their corners. When you do corners, what you sometimes do is you take two cuts and you put them together and you overlap one over the other, and then you can scribe it in as well when the walls are not a true 45 or a true 90 or 30 degree. Doesn't make any difference. But I've gone through some of this with Luna for the longest time, you know, and if you really look, I don't have the light like I really would like to have in here, so you can see these cuts. I do have some film, but I have openings all over the place on these floors. And I understand that because of the fact that some of these walls are not true, that you turn around and you will have irregulars. And the thing is, unfortunate for me that I had people in here that just did not know what they were doing. Also, what I ended up doing, I took out my radiators. And the reason that I took the radiators out was so that they would be able to get to the true wall itself. So I took my radiators out, which meant that I had no heat. Let me explain this to you. I'll go back into the other room to show you basically what's going on as far as that's concerned. As you see, there's a radiator in my living room, and there's the hookup, one there and the other plug over here. Now, I cannot cut my system on because it's water, and because of that, the water will not circulate through these lines without coming through, even though I have a shutoff right here. But the backside, because of the pressure, will come push that water through the backside, being that these radiators are not hooked up. So I let Luna know during the time that we set all of this up that it's getting colder in Baltimore, where I live at. And as you find that during the times that we've had 40 degrees, 20 degree, well, not so much 20. We were in the 40s, low upper 30s for a while. And these houses, they get cold. You would think that they would do a rush job and do everything right in order for me to be able to hook up my system and be warm in here instead of using pots and pans and all this other stuff in order for me to stay warm. Covers, 3-4, you know, on the bed, because of the fact that it does get cold here. Now, the thing is, this is another cut. Alright, the only reason you see all that stuff on there is because I was trying to use some putty, and it just wouldn't take, because it just wouldn't take. It stayed soft, which was probably going to be okay, but I decided I wasn't going to accept it, so you have to change this. But this is the kind of shoddy work that I got. I'm not making this stuff up. You know, these are pictures that I took of these walls before I turned around and did anything with them. The gaps sometimes on the back side I didn't mind, because I could work with them once I got things done and cleaned things up. But as you see, as a professional, if you look at the gaps, they didn't even put staples. They just stapled forward instead of stapling down into the floor in order to keep these pieces from sliding, because all they did was just, because of walking on the floor, they were just backing up away from the wall molding. It's another corner cut. You know, and it's just open. Where you see the light color where they meet at, you should not see that. Where you see the shadow, you should not see that. This is the kind of work that I have had to deal with. And again, this is the main one, which is behind one of those radiators. So if that radiator gets hot, the walls get to sweating, what will happen is, because of the fact that that is open and not secured and done properly, those pieces will end up warping. Because if you notice anything about the products that you buy from Home Depot nowadays, they don't even use wood, they use plastic, which is a joke. So I show this to you just so you'll know what's what. At the same time, I'm just letting you know that Luna has not done anything right within the last 2 months of trying to actually put my house back together. This is me. I am totally disappointed with these people because I have been more than lenient with them. I'm trying to put my house together because I have cabinets that I put up. I put a nook in my house. I'm doing my walls and everything so that way, you know, everything will match up. And they had, this is a window that was actually white that I've scraped and done. And Luna had nerve enough to tell me that they were going to try to find something that I could work with at one of their warehouses. And the color that they came up with was, believe it or not, a white trim. Now, how would white go with anything that I have in my house? My house is in a canary yellow. It is done in gold. It is done in cherry. And there's the gold. Those are my steps in the trim. Those are my doors. That's what I'm putting on the wall. So where do you see anything where something white going around my wall would look like anything natural in this house? Like I said, we put in the work order, say 2 months ago. They did the floors. I've had problems with the floors. They've been back. They came back and looked at it, and then we turned around and had the order. They put me on hold for 2 more weeks to do the order. We set up a date. The date of the order was changed. I had to use another day. They come in, they turn around and brought me the wrong material again, and now I am waiting. We're talking about 2 months of aggravation and disappointment and rage. But yet I've kept my cool. If you think about it, in 3 weeks we have Thanksgiving, and my house will not be done for Thanksgiving, and I'm having company come in from California and Texas. Now, I don't know what Luna's going to do if it took them 2 weeks for them to get the wrong product, but I'm sure hoping that Luna will finally get it together. So that way I will be able to have my house back, cut my heat on, keep my people warm, and go on about my business. But like I say, this is the type of work that I was faced with. And I go on the internet, and the only thing that I see since 1998 is 146 people complaining when I've talked to quite a few people that have had problems. People go to the Better Business Bureau and complain, and do not, no, I won't say don't use them, because the floors are nice if in fact they're put in properly. But if you're having the problems that I am having, just make sure that you either call headquarters or talk to somebody in order to get better results than what I did. Like I said, this is Kellogg's, and I have been waiting 2 months in order to get my stuff done right. Y'all have a great day, and be careful of what's going on out here, because these companies, also with Luna, is based in Chicago. They do not have a hub station. They have a warehouse where they ship stuff to, and then from there they distribute their mechanics, technicians, whatever the hell you want to call them. They're laborers, because that's what it is. It's cheap labor. That's why Americans are losing their jobs. You need to think about all of this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all have a great day. And please, like I said, if you have any comments, this is going on YouTube. You can reach me there. Have a great day. Happy Thanksgiving.